can't see you. Josh, you in?
I'm here.
I'm in here. Can you hear me all right?
Hey, Josh. Alrighty.
Yo, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you loud and clear.
Awesome.
Perfect. We're gonna wait a couple minutes. We might have two more reps for this one, and I'll let you know here in a second.
Roger that.
Hey, Joshua, you there?
I'm here.
Perfect. Let me turn on my video real quick. So, Joshua, my name is Alejandro. How you doing today?
I'm doing quite well. Nice to meet you, Alejandro.
Awesome. Likewise. So, I just wanted to formally introduce myself before everyone jumps on. Since we have a little bit of time here, I don't want it to go to waste, but rather I think it would be best for us to maybe get like a Q&A, a personalized Q&A before everyone else jumps on. So, fire away. What's going on?
Got it. Well, let's start with, are you the business owner then for this program? Terry literally dropped me in. He said, hey, Josh, I've got something for you, and we could talk about it on the call. So I said, okay, I'll be there. But I'm wondering what your position is.
Sure. What I do is I'm one of the marketing directors for, it's a group of business owners who have since about 2008, this is when I got involved and started making connections through a network. And a lot of these folks, everyone knows each other, okay? This is a very incestuous business model, okay? Everyone in the business knows each other. So I'm gonna explain how we work together so that we could all make money together, okay? So
Awesome.
back in 2008, I'll go over this later on with everybody else, but I just want to give you the details. Back in 2008, I had a mutual friend, business colleague with Terry, who introduced me to another guy, and at the time, that's when the first market crash hit. When that happened, there were no programs to assist homeowners at the time. And so I was coming out of being a mortgage loan originator. In the early 2000s, anybody, literally anybody, could be writing loans, okay? And that's part of the reason why this thing crashed. Anybody, bro. If you're determined, this is the United States of America. If you're determined, if you're resourceful, and you have that desire, you're going to get money. Most millionaires, I'll tell you this, most of the millionaires I have met in my 45 years of existence are all immigrants. The American-made millionaires, mom or dad gave it to them. So the self-made are people who are either directly immigrants or direct descendants of immigrants. Now, for this, what's going on here and now, back in 2008, I started getting involved with some folks who at the time were learning about how to take into consideration these government programs that were made out. You could Google this later. Making home affordable modification programs, in-house programs. You could look up Washington Mutual, PennyMac, Chase, First Magnus. It's a party where everyone ended up passing out. Okay, everyone had a great time, but when the sun rose the next day, and everyone had to be held accountable for this, it was a domino effect, and this whole thing collapsed. Okay, so what ended up happening was that individuals such as myself who had enough information on how to originate mortgages through FICO scores, through debt to income ratio, loan to value, deposits, proof of deposits, letter of employment, things of that nature. What ended up happening was that a whole new wheel emerged, and this was the whole loss mitigation, loan modification, whatever it is you want to call it. This is what emerged from it. Okay, so since about 2008 till about 2018, 17, 16, 17, I was involved in this industry, and it is extremely lucrative. Okay, now we're talking about BC, before coronavirus. Now we're talking about after coronavirus. And I'm excited for you guys because this is going to make a whole lot more money than what was being made before. It's going to be more money, faster, and more legitimate. And so what we're doing is we're taking over a decade's worth of experience to just put you guys right into the middle of this to make as much money as quickly as possible. The only way you could fuck this up is if you're a fuck up. It's that simple. Because we're going to go through everything with you so that by the end of what we're going to carefully, and everything that we go through, you could cite. I want you guys to do your research. I want you guys to go online. I want your guys' balls so fucking heavy with confidence and information that you're going to go in and easily and deftly sell this product because it doesn't sell itself. All you're doing is telling them how to give us the money so they could apply for this. It's that simple. Does that make sense? And I'm noticing we have a couple more people zipping in. Hey, brother, I see someone else zapping in. Could you have him introduce himself and whatnot?
Hey, Mihul.
Hey, how's it going?
Always good, man. How about you?
I'm good.
What do you look like?
I'm actually just gonna, hold on. Hey you guys,
right.
Can you see me?
Hey, what's up, man?
I'm actually gonna connect with my laptop so I can have like a stable camera. Perfect. Is that okay?
Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah. We'll hold on for you. Terry, how many more people are we waiting for?
I think we might have one more, but we're going to go ahead and keep going from here.
Okay. So do you want to just fire up the whatchamacallit, and we'll let these guys take a look at what we got?
Very good. So, Milo, you are, you said you're going to go ahead and log in with your computer?
Yeah. Just gonna do it right now.
Cool.
Okay. It says the meeting host will let you in. And okay, looks like I'm in.
Okay, Alex?
Yeah.
Okay, we are good to go. Let's get it going. So,
Great.
Yeah, Josh, Mijo, he's been with me for a minute. Josh, we were actually getting ready to get ramped up right before the end of the world. And
Yeah.
so it's good to get everybody kind of gathered and ready to go. This is beautiful. I mean, right now, here's the reality. The world is like crashing, but in the face of all that fire and smoke, there is a huge opportunity that's shown itself through what we're going to go over with Alex here. So be excited. There's a lot of money to be made. We got a guy who I mean, $1,500 in like 2 days. Okay, so these are the type of numbers we're talking about. So I just want to get you guys pumped and excited. He's going to Alex is going to go over the details here, and it's going to be a two-part training. So this is just more of the info, and then we're going to reconvene later today or towards the evening because he's got get working, and then we're going to go over the sales training, listen to some calls, go over the script, and get cracking. Sound good?
Roger that.
That's good.
Okay, take it away, Alex.
Awesome. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. And like Terry was saying, and I was going over this briefly with Joshua before you tapped in, Mehul, is that since 2008, there's a cottage industry that came about. And this is when people started losing their homes. Market crashed. People's losing their jobs. It's a domino effect, right? But back then, we were in transit, right? We were in flux. We were going from Bush to Obama, right? And what ended up happening was that when Obama came in, there were programs that were set forth to assist people. And we're going to go over these details because what I want you guys to understand is this. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm not saying this to boast. Terry has my pay stubs, but back then, I was making anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 a week. $2,500 a week was a bad week. I was pissed if I was making $2,500 a week. Okay, so it was either between $3,000 to $5,000. Things were cool. This was in a shitty economy when the world was falling apart, the sky was falling. You had all this shit going on, and I was doing better than ever. So I've been in this game since about 2008. Leading up to this here and now, I kind of went back and forth because I kind of got bored with it, kind of like a one-trick pony. And I just wanted to prove my business acumen with doing other stuff. But if there was something that was consistent, it was this program that we're about to show you guys. Actually, we tweaked it so that it makes it even easier. What I was doing to make that kind of money took anywhere from like 3, 4, 5 phone calls, constant like nagging of the clients, stuff like that. But what Terry's bringing to the table and what I'm bringing to the table is going to make this so easy for you. If you're not making $300 to $700 a day off of this, then there's a lapse. There's a lapse in either us or you. So we're going to do everything possible to make you sufficiently informed and sufficiently confident, because as you guys know, the more confident you sound on the phone, the easier the sell is. Terry has a couple of recordings that you guys will have access to, okay, where you guys will listen to how I speak to these people and how I take a cranky old woman into a compliant and very happy, here's my money, how do I send you my money, okay, within the same phone call. And this comes from just being sufficiently confident. And all you have to know is a couple of keywords here and there, how this thing works, a little bit of background so you could repeat the same thing. If you're a parrot, you're going to do good in this. Forrest Gump would make a fucking killing with what I'm about to show you guys. So if you guys are at least as smart as Forrest Gump, you're going to make a shitload of money. Let's go with the first one, Brother Terry. And by the way, because it's just us right now, you guys are ground level. You guys are ground level. Whatever it is you did to win favor with Terry, you guys are in the mix. I'm excited for you guys. I really am, because once we're done with this, you're going to see what it is we did with Terry. We have a campaign going on. It's ridiculous. All right. So we're going to start with the intro. The intro is this. Back in 2008, when the market first crashed, we started to see a pattern with the banks. The banks would receive the money, they would screw everybody over, and then they would take $1 and end up making 5 out of it. And I'm going to show you how they did that. So the market crashes, right? The banks are given billions of dollars. Do you guys remember the bank bailout, 2009?
Yep.
You remember that, right? Mayhold, do you remember that shit? Where like the banks got
so.
billions? It doesn't matter. Just if you don't know something, just write it down, Google it later, and you're an instant pro. Promise you. Okay. So TARP, bank bailouts. Okay. But here's what happened. The federal government, since they're not owned by the banks, wink, wink, they were trusted with receiving those billions of dollars and then doling out to those who qualify. All right. Now, the banks, what they ended up doing was they ended up keeping the money, because here's the business model that they did. Okay. They have a house worth, for easy numbers, $200,000. Okay. That's what it's worth. 2007, before the crash. The people owe 150,000 on it. Okay. You don't need to know all these details. I just want you guys to understand this. Okay. Market crashes. People start losing their houses. The values of that $200,000 house now goes to 150. Now people are upside down on their house. They're just like, fuck it. I'm walking away. I don't need this shit. I owe more than it's worth. Bank says, fine. Now the house is taken by the bank. The bank waits until the market rebounds, so that once $200,000 house is now worth $250,000. So they end up selling it for $250,000. They make a profit off the sale of the house after they've already collected FHA insurance on someone who didn't have the money to afford the house in the first fucking place. Does that make sense? So
Yes.
the banks doubled up. They accepted the money for the insurance. They kept the fucking house. And then when they received the money to help out poor Joe Schmo, who could have kept the house, the banks just said, sorry, you guys don't qualify. Okay. So what we described it as the fox watching the hen house. You can't trust the fucking banks. It's that simple. Terry has, there's a landing page where it demonstrates repeatedly how people are calling the banks. We have phone recordings right now of people saying, I call the bank, but they said I don't qualify. That's bullshit. You qualify. The problem is the bank is trying to double up. They want the insurance, they want the bailout money, and they want your fucking house. Period. Obviously, we're not going to talk to people like that. We're going to smooth it out, right? We're going to use the fear of loss to our benefit and the possibility of gain. Both coalesced in order to draw out what is best for them. And we're going to set it at such an awesome price point break where only an idiot would not do this. And you guys are in the driver's seat on the ground floor. I'm excited. Okay. So today, same thing is happening. Fox is watching the hen house. Okay. Why would you do that shit? Why would you give Joe Schmo $200 of the $500 the bank just gave you? Okay. You could keep the other $300 when you could take Joe Schmo's fucking house. You could keep the money and then sell it to Joe Schmo's cousin for $50,000 more than you took it from. It's a win-win-win. It's fuck for the bank, all right? And the American people are taking it right up the ass. What's going to happen? Wave of foreclosures. That's the next wave. And I'm going to show you guys how we're going to monetize that also. And here's the best thing. All we're using here is the leverage of the law. We're going to use something that you could cite. I want you guys to go to congress.gov.cares Act. We're going to send you the links because we want you guys to be confident, all right? We want you guys to be so confident that it's going to exude on that homeowner. They're going to be begging for you to take their money. Now, here's the next part. The banks, they recovered at cost of the homeowners losing their home. Same shit is happening now. Why do you think they're doing it right now? Because they figured out less than 20 years ago that they got away with it the first time. Why would you not do something you got away with the first time? I do that shit over and fucking over until someone holds me accountable. If you're telling me you're going to give me $200 and I could keep that $200 that I was supposed to give to Joe, flip it into 5 that eventually turn into 1,000, fuck Joe. That's what I'm saying. And that's what the banks do. What do? They fuck Joe. Let's go to the next slide. So here is our redemption. Here is our help. Here is the salvation that these homeowners could receive. And it is called the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, known as the CARES Act. What was the benefit to this? It was put in place to protect and assist businesses, homeowners, and the average consumer, okay? When you guys get a chance, Google that shit. March 27, 2020, both the House and the Senate, Republicans and Democrats all together came and passed this act with the president signing it before the ink dried, all right? Now, for homeowners, the shit that we're trying to sell here and help homeowners receive is the protection that is allotted to those who may have qualifying criteria, and we'll go over that. And what does it do? It provides protection in the form of a mortgage forbearance of payments for 6 months plus another 6 months for a total of 12 months. And we're going to explain why we're wording it like that. We could have easily have said 1 year, but it's to our benefit to say it like this, and I'll go over that. Do you guys have any questions on this slide? Write down your questions, but if you have anything, stop me immediately so that we could be efficient and effective. You guys good?
Yeah, good.
Okay, cool. Mejo, how you feeling?
Feeling good, feeling good.
Good. All right, good. Terry, let's go to the next slide. All right, so here's the problem, and we broke it down like this. This would be a great thing for you guys to screenshot because this is what the banks are doing versus what the law provides. Now, unlike 2008, in the first slide that I was explaining, those were programs, meaning that the banks weren't necessarily beholden to helping you if they didn't really want to. The only way that you could really force the bank into helping you out was by threatening them, by suing them, and creating a paper trail and flashing that weapon on them. Hold on 1 second. Hello? Are you guys there?
Yep.
Loud and clear.
Sorry about that. Okay, I my cleaning lady called in. Okay, anyways, here's the difference, and I hope you guys have been staring at this. Here's what the banks are offering. On the left-hand side of the screen, what you're looking at, the banks are offering the following: 3 months of forbearance, meaning for easy math, let's say they're being offered May, June, July. You don't pay for it. But in August, you're going to have to pay for all 3 of those months plus August, okay? The other option they're giving is they're denied. So what happens? The chain reaction starts, certain foreclosure, because now the bank is painting these homeowners into a corner where they're out of options or out of help. Their credit is then screwed, meaning that, and you could use this as part of your pitch, if the banks do this to you, they're going to destroy your credit, meaning that even if you have the money, you can't get an apartment. Why? Because you have a foreclosure on your credit. Your ass can't pay your bill. That leads to financial ruin. Mom, dad, Elroy, Jane, Judy, Jetsons, they're all in the fucking car. Sell that shit. Tell them like that. If you have to tell them like that, you tell them, look, some of my clients, they were living in their car. Whatever, I don't know. Next, but here's what the law provides. On the right-hand side, it's 6 months initially of credit forbearance, meaning that, or payment forbearance, meaning that they don't have to pay. The law that the House of Representatives, that the senators of these United States of America presented a unanimous bill to the current sitting president, who then immediately signed it into law. This is law. This has been codified into law. So what does it mean if Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, any of these assholes deny someone who actually qualifies? What are they doing? Are they denying someone a program, or are they breaking the law? They're breaking the law.
They're breaking the law.
They're breaking the fucking law. So now what we have is we have the leverage of the law to support these people, these homeowners who are in desperate need. I saw a figure, and I don't know if it's just the city of Los Angeles or if it's Los Angeles or California, but 54% of that demographic, white, yellow, brown, Puerto Rican, or Haitian, all of those people are now unemployed. So is there a need for this? Yeah, there is. Now, how does it work? It's guaranteed if the loan is federally backed, AKA FHA loans, which are Federal Housing Administration loans, VA loans. Easy picking, easy picking. If someone calls in and you talk to them, and we'll show you how to identify whether if it's an FHA loan or if it's a VA loan, that's a drunk virgin on prom night, ready to go, all right? Done and done. Okay. Now, what does the law provide to the homeowners, though? This is extremely important. We want to make sure that they understand that it provides the protection. It provides the protection, but here's the problem. The banks are going to steamroll people regardless. It's just the nature of the bank. The bank is going to do what the bank does. You're not going to blame a scorpion for being a scorpion. That's just its nature. That's what it does, okay? Same thing with the bank. It screws people over, all right? Now, are we good to go? Can you go to the next screen? We're going to explain how the protection is going to work, okay? But let's watch this video first. I want you guys to watch this video because it's describing exactly what I'm saying right now. The banks are illegally, okay, screwing people over. They're painting them into a corner so that they eventually lose their home. They keep the home, they keep the money, resell the home. Not only do they make money off of the sale of the house, okay, but then they make a sale off of the mortgage that goes behind it. So they're banging them twice. Anyways, Terry, show them that the hit play on that.
I don't know if it's just me, but I'm not getting any audio.
I'm not getting audio either.
Yeah, there's no audio.
You got that, Terry?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
That's funny. I thought that was you guys at first. Here's the thing. Well, at the end of this, I guess, presentation or Q&A that we're doing here and now, you guys should be sufficiently equipped to make between $300 to $500 a day, because you're just going to use what's happening today, period. And we're going to use the fear of loss and the possibility of gain. And Terry's going to give you guys some of the verbiage and the way I speak to some of these people. You guys would be like, man, this is an easy sale. It might take more than one call, but we want to make it so that when the people call in, by the time they're hanging up the phone, you guys have already made some money. We want to make sure Terry is going to, before he really churns this up, he wants to make sure that you guys are ready for battle, right? That you guys have all the rebuttals set in place, all of that stuff.
We're ready.
What questions? You ready? Okay, let's go. Let's do it real quick.
Called the 1-800 number for the Bank of
Can
Montreal.
you guys hear this?
Evan McFatridge's
Yes.
wife was laid off when the Halifax area restaurant she works at closed.
She was told that our mortgage was too new to qualify for deferral.
Not what he expected to hear.
I've been in regular communications with the CEOs of Canada's large banks.
Last week, the finance minister asked the big banks to defer mortgage payments for people suffering financially due to COVID-19. But many Canadians say they're encountering an opaque and seemingly arbitrary process, which often ends with them being denied a deferral.
Just huge anxiety.
Allison Whittle and her husband are both in isolation, both showing symptoms and both out of work. But when she called her bank, a subsidiary of Laurentian Bank, she was told it was business as usual.
That was very triggering. I got quite upset because it's not business as usual. We're not going to be able to pay.
The experience may be different with lenders that aren't one of the big banks. Even before the finance minister's request, this Vancouver credit union was offering 3-month deferrals.
One of the phrases that we use in our organization for times like this is forbearance, not foreclosure.
Now she says they're offering the full 6 months with little more than a quick phone call or email. CBC News asked each of the big banks about their deferral process. CIBC, Scotiabank, and TD each just repeated their commitment to working with people on a case-by-case basis. RBC didn't respond at all. BMO says it has now reached out to the subjects of our story. After the McFatridges got that call from BMO, the bank granted them a 6-month deferral. Allison Whittle just got a call back as well. She, too, got her deferral. Aaron Saltzman, CBC News, Toronto.
That shit is not fake news. That shit is happening. Canada, the United States, wherever people are holding mortgages, this shit is happening, okay? Again, if you guys want to jump in, jump in. So now we're going to go over what an FHA loan is. Now, FHA, Federal Housing Administration, it's a branch of the United States government, or part of the cabinet, I should say. You guys don't need to know all that shit. The homeowner should know if it's an FHA loan. Out of 10 people, 5 of them will know right off the bat. I'd say between 5 or 7 will go right off the bat and say, yeah, my shit's FHA. If it's not, we'll show you guys how to identify it. But basically, FHA, it's insured by the federal government, all right, Federal Housing Administration. And the reason so many people love it, okay, it's because first home buyers, they could drop 3.5. I've talked to some people right now who put down, guess how much percent? 0%. And they have the shittiest of credit scores. So what do we have? We have deadbeat, broke people in houses they can't afford, period. All right. Now, the exchange is that the homeowners need to pay something called MIP, okay, mortgage insurance premiums, which protects FHA if they cannot make the mortgage payment. Now, a lot of people still have FHA loans, but they don't pay MIP anymore. I'll explain how that works later, because once the homeowner has 20% plus equity on their mortgage, the rule is that FHA can no longer collect insurance on it But some of these folks don't know how that works, so they just allow it to keep running. And I'll go into detail later on about that. But this is just so you guys could understand what an FHA loan is, why it's called FHA, why people like it so much, and how it works. They have to pay a little extra every month in order for them to hold on to this property. All right, go to the next one, Terry. All right, so Home Relief Network, who is we? Who are we? What do we do? Why are we so confident with this? Why are we opening up this part here? It's the following reason. We have more than 15 years experience in dealing with these lenders. We know how they screw people over. We know the tricks of the trade, but more importantly, we also have a dedicated path of communication to each and every single one of these lenders. Through this experience, we figured out what are the best channels through which to communicate with the lenders. So we'll go over that and how that works. For me, myself, I've been a home preservation specialist since 2008. Before there was any kind of problems with the market, or before there was Making Home Affordable, that's something you guys could Google, Making Home Affordable, or HAMP, H-A-M-P, that's an acronym, like hamper, except without the ER, Home Affordable Modification Program. And then you guys could also Google in-house modification programs. Those came after I started helping people. And it really became an industry, a business that really helped out a lot for a long time. And before that, I was originating mortgages, MLO, since about 2001. I was able to obtain a CFL license and begin originating loans, California, Nevada, Arizona. All right, let's go to the next one. But this doesn't mean shit. If you guys don't know anything about mortgages, you guys just need to know enough to convince Betty Boop on the other line to give you $500 on the spot to keep her from making payments. So this is meaningless, but I just want you to know that whether you have 15 years experience or 15 minutes experience, you're going to be able to sell the same amount as someone with 15 years. That's what we're working on, okay? Go on to the next one. Okay, so what are we doing here? This is the secret sauce, all right? Don't share this shit with anyone. You're going to shoot yourself in the foot. You want to walk down and get all the cows. Don't run down and get it, okay? One. So we're going to get you all the leads you guys need to make $500 to $600, $700 a day, all right? And this is how we're going to do it. We are a third party. As Home Relief Network, we're going to make sure that the homeowner is in compliance. Compliance with what? We're going to advocate and provide the legal and lawful documentation. It's a notice of the CARES Act, okay, and the benefits of it. Don't worry. The wording on it is sexy. It cites the CARES Act, Section 4022, subparagraph 1, paragraph B, all that shit. Okay, so it looks great, and it is exactly what we have to do to comply with the law. Okay, this isn't a program. Remember that, guys. This is not a program. This is a fucking law that the banks need to be beholden to, and we're going to explain how. What if the banks don't care? No problem. We're going to go into that in a minute. Okay. Now, this provides legal and lawful notice. Okay, we're serving notice to Chase, Bank of America, whoever it is, Mr. Cooper, SLS, SPS. All of these don't mean a damn thing to you right now, but trust me, you guys are going to be pros within a month. You guys are going to know everybody, all their numbers, all that. Okay, and what we're doing is we're sending them legal notice that will stand up in a court of law, meaning if shit goes all the way left, they are legally and lawfully in compliance with CARES Act Section 4022, subsection 1, paragraph B, so on and so forth, okay? What are we going to do? We're going to make sure that the lender, let's just pick on Wells Fargo, okay, because they're assholes. Wells Fargo is going to receive an email from us, okay, with all of the citations as to which are the laws that we're invoking in that we're making due process and due notice to the lender, okay? As the authorized representative for Betty Boop, we are now advising you that Betty Boop is at this moment invoking her rights as enacted by the President of the United States on March 27, 2020, CARES Act, Section 4022, so on and so forth. It's going to sound sexy as fuck. The representative on the other end, they always say, oh yeah, you know, this telephone call is recorded for customer service and training purposes, all part of, you know, all that shit. Guess what? We're going to have someone on our end saying the same shit to them. Hey, Wells Fargo, guess what? This call is being recorded for quality assurance and training purposes, so on and so forth, just like they are, okay? Then what's going to happen is that we're going to have this voice recording sent as a WAV file to the homeowner, okay? So that fulfillment happens immediately before the sun sets on Wednesday. If the person calls today, Tuesday, before the sun sets on Wednesday, that shit's already done. Second thing we're going to do is, like I had alluded to earlier, 15 years experience has given us sufficient leverage on understanding the channels that each and every single one of these lenders have. We don't fuck around with loss mitigation. You're wasting your time. They don't give two shits. Half of these folks are offshore. God bless them. But guess what? All they're there is to answer questions and to keep people from finding out who the true decision makers are, the people that we get in contact with. So we send an email directly to the decision makers. There's email portals for each and every single one of the lenders that we have access to. That is the second form of lawful and legal documentation of the notice of the CARES Act. Third, this is the nail in the coffin. We print out a copy, hard copy, of the notice of the CARES Act benefits and notice of intention to use those benefits. And what we do is we print it out. We have somebody go down to the post office, have someone at the post office stamp the certified mail with the tracking number, take a picture of that bad boy, and email it also to our client. So now they have a voice recording, an email recording, and a hard copy recording. So we're going above and beyond 3 times to make sure that our client is protected, okay? Now, in the event that they do not have an FHA loan, and this is why we could confidently take on everybody, there's other services if they do not qualify for the forbearance. Don't worry. They're going to get something, all right? They're going to get help, and you're going to get paid for helping them, all right? That, one of those services is pre-litigation. What does that mean? We got to go old school on that ass. We have to go after Wells Fargo by creating a paper trail of how they denied Betty Boop. Once we create that paper trail of Betty Boop getting screwed, then we're able to flash that weapon in front of Wells Fargo and say, look, this is what I'm going to bust you with unless you want to come to the negotiating table, and then we restructure something, okay? That's when it goes into restructuring of the loan. We're able to then restructure the loan so that they're able to get a much lower payment. The mortgage negotiation, all 3 of these are just nicer ways of saying, just give us, if they don't qualify for the FHA forbearance, it's one of these 3 that they qualify for. Let's go to the next one, Terry. Terry, you there? All right, Terry might not be there at the moment, or this might be the last slide. But here's what I want you guys to walk away with. I want you guys to walk away with the confidence that, 1, this is a law, okay? So it's kind of like if the bank denies you, they're denying you your Social Security. If the bank denies you, they're denying you your right to vote. It's that fucking serious. So you guys could go all the way in with that shit with the client. When they're on the phone, they're already looking for information. What you're going to hit them with is, this shit is a law. This is your right. This is your right. To qualify the people, like I said, 5 out of 10, 6, 7 out of 10 are going to know if they're FHA. If they don't know if they're FHA, This is an even better client because they probably are FHA. And when you let them know they're FHA, they're going to sign up that much quicker. You ask them, do you remember how much your down payment was? Because remember, FHA allows for 3% of a down payment. If their loan is $200,000, do the math, $6,000. Okay, so if their down payment is anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000, trust me, that's a fucking FHA loan. Bring that shit in. If they're not FHA, then for sure what they are is conventional loan. Does that mean they don't get anything? No, it doesn't mean they don't get anything. What it means is they have to get something else. It's not a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It is okay, now we have to negotiate and fight on your behalf with the lender. That's all that means. But everyone's going to be able to get some help. What questions do you guys have so far? I want to be able to make sure that I address anything that you guys may have on your mind. First of all, exciting as shit. The Facebook ad is just doing amazing things right now. We have people calling in. When we widen the net, so to speak, what's going to end up happening is we're going to have a whole bunch more people. I really like selling to people in the Bible Belt, Arkansas, Tennessee, Illinois, Kansas, all of those folks. Easy to fucking sell them to. Just tell them, have them whip out that credit card. Let's go. What questions do you guys have?
So just to be clear, say if the bank plays hardball, we go all the way to bringing them to court?
We can, but it never gets to that point. And let me explain how that works. Okay. So right now, and I'm glad you asked that question, Joshua, because it's important to address. Right now, all we're doing is we're starting the paper trail that might be necessary in the future. Okay.
Got it.
However, in my mind's eye, it's always better to prevent cancer than to treat cancer, right? So this is the cancer prevention. Because why? Because you have a voice recording of our representative speaking to a representative at Wells Fargo, advising them that this is now being recorded for customer service and quality insurance purposes, right? So now you have a WAV file, all right? Second thing, you're going to send an email to Wells Fargo. They have a portal that allows us to speak directly to them. That's notice, right? And that's the beauty of the ambiguity of this law, that it says all you have to do is serve notice. You don't have to prove that you're having a problem. You don't have to prove that your income is down. In fact, when you guys listen to some of these pitches that I made, you know what I tell the folks? I say, most of our clients have their jobs. Most of their clients have nothing wrong with their situation. But they're not waiting for the flood to build the ark. They're building it now. They're getting ready now, not during or after. They're building it now. And people, for some reason, that clicks and they're like, whoa, okay, I need to get this too. Does that make sense? So
yes.
if they're FHA loan, their ass needs to get in there. You could even take them or show them, or maybe some of them, because everyone is home, they're on that news wire feed, right? So they know about how all of the stimulus money, it's already fucking running out. So it's, look, I'm not trying to pressure you. I'm just letting you know what the reality is. And this money is already running out. So what you can do right now is get in just in case. $500 is worth it. And let's just move forward. If you don't need it, great. You didn't need it. But what if you needed it and now it's out?
Yeah.
Now you don't have a house. Now you don't have toilet paper. Now you're screwed. Now you're really screwed.
Do you take the angle that, so say we have we get on the phone with someone, yes, they still have their job. Do we compare, all right, look, if you get 6 months or even 12 months forbearance on this, if you don't have to make your mortgage payment for 6 months, how much money does that allow you to hold on to cash that you might need right now?
1,000%.
Is that an angle that we...
1,000%. But you know what? Most people, they're already figuring it out because you even help them. One thing that I'm like, oh, how much is your payment, ma'am? Oh, it's $800 a month. Oh, okay, $800 a month. Let me see. On a yearly basis, that'd be about $9,600, about $10,000. Is that right? Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, it is now your right. It is now law, codified into United States law, that you don't have to give that money to the banks. They have enough money. They have the insurance. Guess who doesn't have insurance? Your kids, you. Go to the store. Go to Tony Roma's. Spend that money on yourself. The bank has money. Don't do it. So yes, Joshua, very good. Use it. Right now, people are, you don't even have to tell them that. They already know. But if you want to like draw it out of it in case you're dealing with the Homer Simpson, do it. Whatever. Do it. Because you're actually helping them out. You're helping them out. Think about it. Like, it's less than 1 month's mortgage payment.
Yes.
It's kind of like, think about it like this. It's kind of like if there's a dog that needs medicine and it won't take the medicine, what it will do is it will eat the medicine if you wrap that shit in a bologna or bacon. Wrap that shit in bacon. Hand it to them because they'll thank you later for it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that you already saw it, right? And guess what? Betty Boop, when she got, you know, all her little baby Betty Boops that want to eat, she's going to be like, I'm more worried about Betty Boop than I am about Wells Fargo right now. They'll do the math. They'll do the math on their own, but yeah, for sure. Hit them with that. Yeah. Just this is you know, scratching, biting, kicking, all that. This is and trust me, you're not going to have to go that deep into it with, you know, 6 or 7 people on a daily basis. You know, 4 or 5 of them are going to be like, yeah, let's do this. When you hear this, what's the next step? Done. That's a wrap. And you're going to hear that shit all the time. Okay, well, you know, and Terry will go over all that stuff with you. Go grab your mortgage statement. We want to make sure, blah, 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 blah. And here's the knockout punch. Money back guaranteed. In the event you're not qualified, well, then either you get your money. No. Don't say you get your money back right away. You say, in the event you don't qualify for the 6 month plus 6 month forbearance program, there's other programs that will get you just as good, if not better. Okay. And if that doesn't work out, you get your money back. It's that simple. We don't want broken hearts and broken homes. We want to help people who we can help and do it the best way possible. You guys could confidently come in with that. You guys could you know why you guys could talk all that shit? Because it's a law. Write this down. CARES Act, Section 4022. Read that shit. It's I think page 597 to 580, something like that. Just scroll down. It's a $900 a 900-page document. Also, I went through that bitch tooth and nail to find this specific section so that we could sell it. Now, most people be like, oh, well, I could do this on myself. Yeah, you could also cut your own hair. You could also do your own plumbing. You could also do your own dental fucking work. But we're talking about your house. So if you want to do it on your own, go ahead. Obviously, we're not going to say it like that, right? But we're going to say something to the effect of like, you know, most of our clients have already tried, and I encourage you to try on your own. But if you're on hold more than 30 minutes, then that's just an idea as to whether or not you get notice. And even if you do call, guess what happens? The bank doesn't have to record any kind of evidence that you asked for help. Why would the bank help you? Why? And hopefully they've watched that video that Terry put on for them that shows that, like, the bank isn't here to help you, dude. The bank isn't the fucking Red Cross. The bank is here to make money. And if they can make more money, they will take your ass out of the house. You and Betty Boop are going to be out with coronavirus and no roof over your head. So give me $500 and I'll make sure that shit doesn't happen. But of course, you guys find your own words to say it.
Yeah.
But basically, that's what that is. And if you're able to carefully craft a pitch, and I know that Terry's really good at making sure people are going to give you some sort of money and commit to paying, okay? So just listen to Terry on all that. In regards to all of the secret sauce, the fulfillment, because when I here and now, what I was doing before this was the following. I was helping the homeowners who were having trouble with the bank in negotiating for something we knew they fucking qualified for. You know how we know they qualify for it? Because we have the same software that the lenders have. So we ask them for their information. We ask them for their numbers, like their income, their expenses. We ask them for proof of income. We ask them for their taxes. If they could give us all this shit, we could guarantee them that we will make the bank bend knees and submit to our demands. We know exactly how to do that shit. So all I did was I took that expertise of since 2008, however fucking long that is, and I applied it to this, and I found out what it is that these lenders have to be beholden to. Served it up to the attorneys that we work with. I'm like, hey, does this shit work like this? What if we did this, 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 and that? When these guys stay quiet and they say, all right, come back in about a half hour, and they call me back in 10 minutes, it's a go. This shit's a fucking go. You know why? Because it's a fucking law. You don't have to be a lawyer to understand that shit. It's a law. You guys do your own proper research on it. You don't have to be an attorney to understand that this is law. So that's why we know. At first, when we were coming up with the marketing plan for this, we were thinking maybe like $1,000, $1,500 for it. But what about Joe Schmo out in St. Louis, Missouri, right? What about, Betty Boop down in Tallahassee, Florida? That, they're getting unemployment, but it's not a lot. So we want to make this within range for everybody. And if we go Costco with it, then you guys are going to make a shitload of money. If we go fucking, Neiman Marcus, you guys, yeah, you'll make money, but it's better to go Costco. You get more people in Costco than you do in Neiman Marcus, right? What questions do you guys have?
That's about all. I guess one question I had is, let's say when we're on call with Betty Boop, and she's like, okay, why should I trust you guys over the banks, or why should I trust you guys over any other person that calls me, or how do I know you guys are not lying? So I feel like those questions would be answered once the scripts are given to us and Terry helps us out with the whole thing.
Correct. Yeah? All of that stuff, yes, because all you're going to show Betty Boop is the letter of the law. You say, hey, Betty, this is just the law. You're not, look, and I'm glad you brought this up. This isn't a pitch. You're not selling a fucking thing. You're telling them what they could get. Can Betty Boop do this on her own? Yes, she can. Betty Boop, here's the number. Call them up. Good luck. Call me back if you need me. Promise you, Betty Boop is going to call you back. She's going to be like, man, this shit is hard. Because what you want to end up demonstrating to Betty Boop is that even if you do that shit, how do we know that the banks are going to abide by and even respect the fact that you did that? All they're going to do is just steamroll your ass and just start the foreclosure process. Is that worth $500 to you?
Right.
That's it. Try it. Because now what once cost $500 because of other services cost anywhere from like $700 to $1,500 a month for 4 months. If they do not qualify for the FHA. But if Betty Boop goes with the FHA loan and tries to do this shit on her own and foreclosure starts, now you don't need a filling. Now you need a fucking root canal for us to save that tooth. Don't do it to yourself. But if you want to, hey, go ahead. I'm just letting you know, shit's going to be more expensive when you come back, Betty.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, you're going to tell Betty another way. Like, hey, yeah, totally, go ahead. I'm just suggesting, for you could do it for free. We're charging $500 now, $300 later. However, if in the event that you are unsuccessful, and we could draw out, what would be good is if they get a chance to look at the website and some of these videos, because that'll sell it for you. Now all you're doing is taking payment information and sending it out to them. That's how easy we want to make it for you guys. All they're doing is calling in to give you the payment information, and you just walk them through a couple of questions so that they're not rebuttals. Does that make sense? Hold on a second. Hola, Julia. ¿Cómo? No. Así está bien. Okay, gracias. Ajá. Okay, bye-bye. And then if you guys have any Spanish speaking people, just shoot them my way. We'll work something out so you guys get like a referral bonus or something. I don't want you guys wasting your time because there's going to be a lot of Spanish speaking people who are going to need help. Unless you're proficient enough in Spanish to do this, by all means, take it.
Gotcha.
Terry, is there another slide? There we go. Okay. They're the frequently asked questions. Let's go through those. Is the service guaranteed? Yes. We don't want your money unless we could help you. We want to have a good reputation. We've had a good reputation, and this is why we've been able to stay in business for such a long time. We do not take on any files unless we could guarantee it. Your money is not worth our reputation. Our reputation is worth more than your money. Just tell them like that, straight up. Who talks to the bank? Fulfillment department. Who's that? We're going to get some people to do all of those things. We just want you guys to focus on selling, okay? They're going to be able to do the calls. They're going to do the emails. They're going to do the letters. Done and done. You guys bring in the money. That's your job. Hallelujah. How do I receive proof of service? The United States Certified Postal Service, okay? So we're going to have something in writing. You know that little green slip when you go to you want to prove that you sent shit to the IRS or whatever, and you're, so that, boom, it's going to have their name, the tracking number, all that shit. We're going to take pictures of it, okay? They're also going to have a WAV file of the voice recording with their name. This is why it's important to have their name, their loan number, their address, and the last four of their social, so that we could effectively serve notice to them on call, in writing, and in the email, okay? Is this a government program? No. This is a law. This is a right. If you have an FHA loan and you decide to send in a payment, God bless you, because you must be doing really good. But even if I didn't have income reduction or anything, and it is my right to not make a mortgage payment, I'm not going to make a fucking mortgage payment for a year, dude. No, I'm just not. No. Why would I? Why would I? It's my right. Now, the way it works, obviously, is some people are going to ask, well, how does this work? Do I have to come up with it the next one? It's like, no. I tell them like this. For easy numbers, this is 2020. A 30-year mortgage should be paid in full April 2050. Instead of this now being done 2050, now it's done 2051. Let's just paste in the back of the loan. Let's just get through 2020. We'll worry about 2050, 2051 if we make it there, all right? Now, give me your credit card number so we can get going on this. Shit like that. I'm sure you guys are smoother than that. I'm not. I just go in. If someone gives me flack or static or whatever, they don't want to fuck on the first date. Peace, gone. You know, I'm looking for the first date floozy. And if she's not ready to go on the first date, then she wasn't ready for me. And that's okay. Someone is. What other questions do you guys have? Is there another slide, Terry?
No, that's it.
Okay. So Terry, he is going to go over the sales and the marketing and all that stuff with you guys. This is more like the technical stuff, okay? To kind of give you a background, if you guys have a chance to do any of the research to look at, what the, I want you guys to look at CARES Act, Section 4022, okay? Because I want you guys, once you read all that shit, you're gonna be like, damn, this motherfucker was right. This is now law. The problem is the banks. The banks, if you give the banks a chance to screw you, the banks are gonna screw you. That is law. Just like CARES Act is law, that shit is law. The bank will fuck you to get my money off of you, by far. That's how they operate. That's what they're there for. But what questions do you guys have? Because I'm going to jump back into what I got to do.
I think that's all the questions I had.
Okay.
Makes sense to me.
Sounds good. Okay. Yeah. So if you need anything else, run it by Terry. Do your research. Check what it is that you might want to get more familiar with, and then we'll reconvene and we'll do this. But trust me, man, once you guys look at the CARES Act, and once you look at the videos and everything, that you guys are going to have enough confidence and enough verbiage. Listen to the recordings of the people. I took, sour grapes grandma into apple pie making grandma. Please help me, Eric, with all this. Another thing, because of the nature of this business, you're going to want to come up with a nom de plume for the uninitiated, some sort of name, right? Like my name is Alejandro Martinez, but because we have trolls, we have internet bandits, we have internet haters, we have all that shit, I strongly recommend that you guys come up with the name. You know, anything other than like, you know, James Bond or John Smith. Come up with a cool name. That's who you're going to be, because if they start to slander you, they're going to slander whatever name you guys come up with versus your own name, right? Because you guys have very distinct names. I don't want your shit to get soiled, and just be whoever it is, you know, and let Terry know who you're going to be. And that way, if anyone does come, because not everyone's going to qualify, not everyone's going to, this is, you guys have been to enough fast food restaurants to know that not everyone is happy with their burger all the time, right? So you're going to have people fucking throwing burgers in your face. I just don't want it to hit Joshua in the face or Mayhole in the face. So come up with a different name for your sake.
Got it.
All right, brother. All right, people. So we're going to go ahead and end this meeting here, and then what I'll do is I will get in touch with both you guys here and towards the evening, and then we'll reconvene. As far as I'll give you guys the time that we'll schedule so we can go over the sales portion of things, the CRM, how everything works, you know, all the nitty gritty stuff, and then get you guys cracking.
I am so excited for you guys, man. You guys you guys are like the fucking Kevin Garnett's, the Kobe Bryant's of this shit. You guys are getting pulled right out of high school to the fucking big leagues, straight to the league. You guys are going to be scoring triple doubles on a weekly basis. I promise you. This is like the way we're setting this up, where you guys are going to have more leads than you could deal with. We're going to help each other out. This is the first step to it. But it's not going to be hard for you guys. If you guys are making less than $300 a day, there's a problem and we need to fix it. But we'll figure out what it is. But I'm really excited for you guys. This is like, do you guys see the potential behind this? Like, do you guys see how like why wouldn't you do this? If you don't do this, you got bigger problems than a fucking mortgage. Does that make sense? And we almost don't want to deal with those people. But with this here, if you guys get 5 leads, I promise you, before the end of the week, you guys are going to sell 3 of them. Minimum, if not all 5. This shit sells itself. You're not selling anything. You're just telling them how to get it. That's it. So I'm really excited for you guys, and I hope, I hope you guys I wish you guys the best of luck, but it's not luck when you know what you have before. The luck is different from law. Law is guaranteed. Luck, we'll see. Right? Yeah. So you guys have the law behind you. Sell this shit. Get your money. You're going to do so much better when all of this is said and done. I'm sure Terry's going to take you guys to Vegas and do all that fun stuff too. And if he won't, then I will. And he's going to pay for it all. No, I'm serious, Terry. That's going to happen.
Very good. All right, let's go ahead. With that, we're at a close. All right,
right on. All right, guys. Be easy. Go kill it.
Peace out, y'all.
Thanks. Bye-bye.